This actually takes me all the way back to when I was like 10 years old. Back in the early 90s, Brandon Choi and Jim Lee created Wildcats, which at the time, the CATS in Wildcats was an acronym for Covert Action Teams. This was all back in 1992, where teams like Youngblood and Stormwatch were a big deal, not to mention Todd McFarlane's Spawn. Fast forward through many different relaunches through not just Image Comics, but also when everything shifted over to Wildstorm. Ever since Jim Lee left Image Comics back in 1998 and sold Wildstorm over to DC Comics, Wildcats has technically been a part of the DC Comics imprint, albeit everything that was Wildstorm was editorially kept separate from everything that was DC Comics, which is why you didn't really see the Wildcats or any other characters from Wildstorm as a major part of anything going on with DC Comics at the time. You didn't just see them palling around with the Justice League, so on and so forth. And about around the time of 2010, Wildstorm had largely fallen off from DC Comics. I mean, it was still a thing, but there wasn't really much from Wildstorm that DC was using. Fast forward to 2017, DC tried to give Wildstorm a resurgence, and while that was met with mostly positive results, I feel, it's in the recent year that DC has brought back Wildstorm, I won't necessarily say with a vengeance, but with more of a quiet sneak attack. Right now, the Wildcats, once a covert action team, they are now a crisis aversion tactical squad. It's mostly the same members you might remember if you're more familiar with the original Image series or any of its later iterations under Wildstorm. One thing that is still in place, but is not quite the main focus of the first two issues that are out currently, is the shadow war between the Cherubim and the Daemonites. For those unfamiliar, the original Wildcat series focused heavily on these two alien species' war for existence, with the Daemonites being the de facto bad guys and the Cherubim in many ways being similar to Marvel Comics mutants. This was not subtle in any way, shape, form, or fashion, as many of you may remember. At the time that Wildcats was coming out, Jim Lee had recently been working on X-Men. And while the similarities between the Cherubim and the mutants aren't necessarily like a one-to-one thing, because obviously the Cherubim are an alien race as opposed to being humans born with mutant powers, there were still a lot of similarities between the Wildcats and the X-Men. But as of the first two issues of Wildcats under Matthew Rosenberg and Steven Segovia, Daemonites have really only been mentioned a couple of times. This iteration of the team, we have OG Wildcats member Cole Cash, aka Grifter, the bandana, mask-wearing, gun-toting, one-time telekinetic, and who knows if that's a thing anymore character, who was originally the disaffected bad boy of the team, and is still that, but is now more of a Hawkeye type of leader, where he's not necessarily bad at being a merc or even being a leader, but he's just messy and just seems to always have crappy luck. I know some people are going to immediately jump on how Cole is musing with other people about how he and the rest of his team come from a universe where all of DC's superheroes turned into zombies. I honestly think a lot of that is bullshit. I think he's just making something up. I mean, to be fair, if that is the case, if he is in fact telling the truth, then that would make the story even that much more interesting. But based on Cole's nickname and that he is a liar, that he lies most of the time, I'm gonna go on a limb and say this isn't true. But if it does turn out to be true, it'd be hella funny. We also have the return of OG Wildcats member Zana, aka Zealot, a Cherubim martial arts master and highly skilled warrior, who was a character that could easily be described as humorless as she was deadly, but now seems to have a bit more of a sense of humor and might even be more deadly if that was even possible. Back in the day, a lot of X-Men fans used to compare her to Psylocke. We also have the return of another Wildcats OG, Maxine Manchester, aka Ladytron, a cyborg with a metric boatload of enhancements and weaponry built into her body, and was one of the team's later additions.
Let's go! Let's go, baby! Let's go! I'm here to spit. I can't even turn it on. What? I'm here to spit. I'm here to spit, Charlie. Charlie Kirk. I'm here to strip Charlie Kirk. No, I'm here to strip Charlie Kirk.
Come on. Who is this character?
I'm here to vaccinate Charlie.
Who is this character?
Ah! 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 Ah!
Let's go.
Charlie!
Let's go.
I'm here to vaccinate Charlie.
Vote. Brought to you by Turning Point Action. Oh,
Uh-oh, we got somebody coming up.
oh hell, what is this?
Who is this?
Oh my God.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm here to strip.
Harmeet Dillon.
I can already tell who it is.
I think it's clear.
Even in the
It's
future.
lucky Dave Portnoy
You got
had
10
it.
seconds.
I'm here to strip Charlie Kirk.
Look at that.
I'm here to strip Charlie Kirk. No, I'm here to strip Charlie Kirk.
You didn't have to break.
I'm here to vaccinate Charlie. Ah!
It's Alex Stein.
Alex Stein, primetime 99.
Alex. He ripped the mic out.
Alex, wait!
I had 2 mics.
I
Now
could
have
see him
1 mic.
coming. And I knew it was him.
1 James, 2 mics.
Now I know how Dave Portnoy feels.
Vote in the straw poll, everybody. You got an email.
I don't think Dave was actually there, though.
Oh no.
Is the microphone? Did he break the microphone?
I think the mic works.
I think it's
I
okay.
fixed it.
He just wanted to say hello.
I caught it. I caught it.
He just wanted. What did he even say?
He wanted to sniff Charlie Kirk. That's what he wanted.
You know.
my view on like actually listening to people or listening to what these men are saying instead of just taking a clip and taking for how these people are clipping it and
Yeah.
wanting to get their agenda across, but actually like, listening to them. And I like sat down and like actually listened to some of the stuff that he said beforehand. So I was like, what he is saying is not crazy. It's the way he's saying it, and people, a lot of, I was like, people and a lot of women don't like the way that he is saying it because it's very like raw, like this is it, this is how I'm gonna say it. I don't care if you don't like the way I'm saying it. I'm gonna say it this way. And
Yeah, but I understand, but he should have never been. Andrew Tate should have never been banned. Guys, write into the chat if you agree with me. If you think Andrew Tate should have never been banned, put a 2 down into the chat if you think that he should have been banned for the things that he was saying. I don't think he should have ever been banned. There's been other people that I agree with the understanding of the rules and the terms of the service of why it is that they get let go. And I'm talking about people that I've seen from the right-leaning side and people from the left-leaning side as well. But he should have never been banned. It was abundantly clear to me which components of the things that he was saying was satire. It was abundantly clear. It was abundantly clear. And it was abundantly clear the times where he actually mean the things that he was saying. Like, there's always gonna be a little bit of comedy within it. But like, I think most people didn't understand that there's a bit of comedic genius to Andrew Tate. You know what I'm saying? I think guys amongst guys, we get that. But when you get that amount of information and the way that he would talk in front of these left-leaning corporate people that are up in, Menlo Park and shit like that, wherever the hell that they at, they're gonna take it another way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see a bunch of ones that's coming down into the chat. I mean, here's the thing is a lot of people want to argue free speech. I would love, see, the thing is like, I wish on YouTube they would change. Like if someone gets banned, let them know exactly why they get banned. Here's the thing. When my videos get demonetized, they let me know 80% of the time the reason as to why my videos are getting demonetized. If you're going to ban somebody, which is way more of an action, videos get demonetized every day, B. But y'all still let us know. If someone gets banned, let us know why he getting banned. Let us know. So we can have that information to understand the rules and the policies of the platform. It only makes sense to me. But they just didn't ban him on YouTube. They banned him on everything. I think even they took him out of his Uber app. How you ban him from Uber from shit that he set up on YouTube? For real? I think they banned him out of PayPal. That's why he had to shut down like the Tate University shit that was connected to that Discord. It's absolutely ridiculous what they did to him. And it's crazy to see kind of how he's been matriculating through the space. And like I've watched a couple of streams with like him and like Aiden Ross and shit like that. And to see the positive impact that he can have on like an Aiden Ross, which is popping from Twitch, where he has like, 30, 40,000 people in a stream at a time and has all the minds and the ears of these young people, and to see the influence from tape down to an Aiden Ross, which then he can disseminate to all of his followers, and to watching that interaction. I understand why they call him the top G. Shout out to Andrew Tate. Let's keep going.
And I feel like a lot of people don't like it like that, but it's like if you get past what he's like, how he's saying it, and listen to actually what he is saying, it's like, oh, okay, it's not as
Same thing with Kevin.
as people make it out to be.
Facts.
Yeah.
That's why I actually purposely didn't really go and look at his content, because I was like, I want to see who he actually is and what his energy is actually saying, because I understand the same way that people say, oh, you clickbaited, you edited this way to make me look worse, it's the same way that it happens to him. And realistically, he was way more balanced and actually a lot more kind of.
I get a lot of people that ask me this too, and they ask me something like, would have Kevin Samuels have ever gotten banned? And my answer is always no. And then, but when I think about what is the difference between why Andrew Tate got banned and why Kevin Samuels did not get banned, and I think that the answer to that is Kevin would talk with women. Andrew would only talk to men. And I don't think that there's many other things that would scare a society is one man that has the influence and control of so many men. That's how you could create uprising. Pay attention.
Kind of calming in his presence than what it actually seems online. I'm not gonna lie, he spoke sense. There was a lot of balance in what he said, and I know people were expecting me to clash with him, and I didn't. He was cool. I liked him. It was funny. He had a bit of banter as well with his Clementines and stuff.
I think the only thing I didn't agree with was like him talking about a
Thank you
man
for the super chat.
will cheat, like women
$10
are
super
delusional.
chat. I'm
like,
trying to keep up with the
I think
super
that's
chats
not a
as they
good
come.
message.
If they have the opportunity to, they will. If they have like the
It's
leeway
okay.
or
I'll
the-
give you an example. Even a good man would have a hard time being in Tiger Woods' positions. Having a bus full of models waiting for him that are trying to fuck him every single day. It's like even a good like my dad, he's top 1%, doesn't cheat. But my dad doesn't have social media, and he doesn't have beautiful models waiting for him every day after work.
Yeah.
I think that would be hard for even a good man
It would be.
to say no to. Like even my dad, if he was in a position where beautiful women are trying to do that every single day, that's hard. That's really hard for a guy.
Women get approached as well. In fact, women
Right,
get approached
true,
way
true,
more than men.
true,
because
true.
men are
But
the
it's not
hunters.
usually by men you want. I would
Right.
also argue. I would also argue that it would be hard for a woman to stay faithful if every day she was approached by high value men.
Makes sense.
So, like you've been in that position. It's if every day you're getting messages from like the top men in society, I think that's hard for women to turn down. We're hypergamous. So it's not really about the quantity of men that approach you, it's the quality.
I think just morally, I think everybody knows that
That was a fair point by I'm gonna start calling her JPT. Shout out to Maggie, the substitute teacher. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Yeah, the more options that you have, the less likely that you are to remain true to discipline within those. I'll hold you. Sometimes I'll be looking at my Instagram DMs. I'll be looking at some of the girls' faces, and I'm like, God damn it! Don't click on that shit. Don't click on it. Don't click on it. She's trying to get me diverge from my purpose. You understand me? It be hard sometimes, though. You guys gotta understand. I'm moving from a private citizen to a public figure. You know what I mean? So I understand that point.
cheating is wrong. Like Tate even said it himself. When a woman
Her
cheats
volume's
on
low.
a man, the pain that he feels, so they know it's wrong innately, but they think that they have that pass to do it because I'm a man, I'm a high value man, and it's like, do you know that?
When is
pain
Brittany
that
gonna
he
speak
felt?
again?
She feels that.
It's
every single day.
I agree with you. I've been cheated on. It was really hard. But at the end of the day, it's just not the same. Because like at the end of the day, like I could get past it.
They turned down her
because
mic.
I was like, you know what, it was just a random. It wasn't like he wasn't in love with her. But like the way we would feel if a man was in love with someone else, that's how men feel about us cheating on them sexually. Like there's just
Do you think it's because they're
And I'm even gonna hold you guys. I'll keep it funky with y'all just because you know this is the MT Army and I bang with y'all. It's been a couple of times that you know you just get in the DMs and just slide over the yabs. I'm just like, oh God, you know what I'm saying? I am not used to this. What do I do with this? All right. Do I just leave these viscous innards in my DMs, or do I focus on my goals, on my purpose? You understand? I understand. You know, when they doing it to you like that, you know, when you start getting status or power or whatever it is that they want to call it, shit changes. But you must remain focused. All right, you must remain to your purpose. Shout out to Michael with the $5 super chat. Moderator in the building, Patreon gang in the building, until the likes are so damn low. Oh, y'all messing with my likes? Don't play with me. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Show me some respect. I don't even know I haven't been checking. How many viewers are in here? Oh shit, almost 5K. That's crazy. Guys, hit on the like button. There should be at least 2,500 likes that's down into the building. I don't know where the likes are at right now. Do me a favor, hit on the like button. It gets seen in front of more people. More people can come in. More people can enjoy. And we can get this content in front of more people, especially more people that, you know, maybe do not like the stances of an MTR or a JPT, all right, or the stances of a Tate or the stances of a KS. Keep on hitting that like button so the algorithm can do its damn thing. You're helping by hitting on that like button, as well as clicking that share button, as well as clicking that comment button. We are all in this together. There's certain figureheads within it, but we are all in it together. Support the communities that you watch, all right? We can't thrive. We can't do this without your guys' support, all right? But thank you so much, Michael, for that reminder. Where the hell is my mouse at? Oh, there it is. Shout out to Dante Bryant for the $5 super chat. So you're just going to drop that paid in full reference like no one would notice? Hey, listen, I be dropping references all the time, my G, all right? You just got to stay focused. You got to stay tuned. Shout out to John DePaula for the $10 super chat. Brittany's roast beef must look like an awfully made raw beef sandwich. John, have some respect. Let go. Hit that like button.
How do I want to say this? Do you think it's because men are weaker in that department to where it's
Wait. I missed the beginning of what she was saying.
Do you
that's how men feel about us cheating on them sexually. Like there's just
do you think it's because there's just like how do I want to say this? Do you think it's because men are weaker in that department to where it's like, oh, I can't believe you had sex with guys before you even met me because that's my
Brittany, I've talked about this ad nauseum. I know you see my content. Stop playing dumb on just pearly things. Our anatomy is different, Brittany. Men can have sex with women and not even think about it the next day. Shit, I have, and I'm sure there's dudes that's not up in here that have sex with women they do not even like. I don't even like you. Them buttery, viscous innards will get me to the promised land. You understand me? At least for this evening. The promised evening. You know what I'm saying? Women, by and large, cannot do that. I have an outie and you have an itty. Our anatomy makes us different. We are not equal. We are different. Stop calling us equal. We are not equal. We think different. The chemicals that fire in my body make me more competitive. I don't want to know that Tom, Dick, and Harry was all up in the yams before I got to it. Why would I want to give you all the things that you want when you gave away something that I consider sacred to me for free with Tom, Dick, and Harry? We are competitive in nature. We are warriors. Why would a warrior want to share his kingdom? Why? Shout out to Bright for the $10 super chat. Channel member down into the building. Shout out to McLennan for the $5 super chat. We are Israelites, so is Tate. Yeah, I heard that he converted. Maybe I'll go and do a live stream on that. I'll give you guys my thoughts on that as well. Shout out to the moderators as well. I see you guys continue to post my shit that's down up in there. Thank you so much. Gail and Knight, I see you. Michael, I see you. Keep on hitting that like button, guys. Come on. Let's get it. Let's get these likes up.
my pussy. You know what I mean? Like, I almost feel like it's because there's such a gap in where women really are and where men are emotionally and mentally.
No, I just think it's like men and we can't undo biology.
Yeah.
Right? So like we can't undo the thousands of years of biology. And how did you pass on your genes to the next generation? For women, it was getting the best man that they possibly could, the strongest, tallest, biggest, highest status, because then your kid would survive. That meant he could protect you, he could pass on resources to you, and your kid would be strong and would be able to protect itself. For like vice versa, for men, it was, I don't want to pass on resources to a kid that's not mine. So it was, I can't have a promiscuous woman because the kid might not be mine. My genes might not even get.
Yeah, this concept of birth control is, excuse me, not birth control, but pregnancy tests is new. Think about how new that is in comparison to the age of man.
My genes might not get passed on. So even though like we're in 2022 and we have like different things that offset this stuff, you can't undo our biology.
But I also think it's accountability. I
Shout out
think,
Soulstorm, I
like
see you.
Brittany was saying,
We're above half. Let's
Tate,
keep
you're
it going.
literally like the male version of me, and you're praised, and I'm shamed. I think it's because we are not holding these men accountable. Like you, said, you basically called Brittany a hoe before you met her. That is so unfair. And I think if we started to say, no, Brittany, not just Brittany in that situation, not calling you a hoe or anything, not in that situation, say Tate's a hoe, Brittany's a hoe, actually hold each other accountable.
But it's,
not
it's
just women.
and it's just but here's the thing, like on the other side, when you were when was the first time you got messaged by someone with a blue check mark or like any attention?
Probably when I was like 2021.
Okay, 2021. She got the world at her fingertips. Like just by being beautiful, right? She can get messaged from like the top men in society. It's not the same for men. When a man's 2021, no woman's checking for him.
That's a big
maybe a very select few, but even if they're very good looking, like they're not getting shit from rich girls.
No, but what I'm saying is the men that are getting those women, like actually saying that it's not, because it's not right. At the end of the day, cheating is wrong. Men or women, biology or not, it's wrong. And I think if we actually start to say, you know what, this man has got 3 baby mamas, you're fucking ridiculous. You're playing with STDs.
And here's the
okay, there's something, they're not changing the camera angle, but listen, what she's doing is she's moving the pylon. That was in the argument. Okay, we were talking about body count and men versus women. Now she wants to bring it to something different, like men having baby mamas and cheating. That means that you've lost this portion of the argument, madame, and now you're going to move the pylon to something that is not logically succinct to what they were talking about before. You see this happening in conversations so many goddamn times, and I guarantee you, if I was there, I would have paused it right there to let her know that she's focusing on a different subject. Shout out to John Jackson that's down into the building. Thank you so much, my brother, for the $20 super chat. Stay strong, my brother. Dick discipline is strategic. You know, I tell the brothers on the channel this so many times. It is not a woman that will be your downfall. It's your inability to be disciplined with your eggplant around that woman. Let's keep going.
But the thing is, it's such a who's at fault when most 80% of women, 90% of women are sexually active, but only roughly 5 to 10% of guys can do what you're saying. So it's the women are more promiscuous than the men. It's like the problem you're talking about is so minuscule. It's so small. Like maybe 20% of men
I
can.
wouldn't say women are more promiscuous.
No,
I'm saying by the
data. Women have more sexual partners now.
What are you doing?
I'm coming for you today. Now I'm your Auntie Jenny. Trust me. You swore at me. Disrespect. I do not accept disrespect. This is why men will cheat, because somebody's talking to you and you're still cutting them off for no reason.
Please continue.
So it doesn't even need to be high value.
But do you know what I'm saying? So I'm saying like, okay, they're predicting that 45% of
Yo, women be the worst to each other. I swear for God. Yo, did y'all just peep what she just said?
You're doing way too much.
I do not accept disrespect.
Why are you doing
this
so
is why men will
much?
cheat, because somebody's talking to you and you're still cutting them off for no reason.
Please continue.
So it doesn't even need to be high value.
But
she said the man don't even have to be high value to cheat on your ass. Is she lying? God, put a 1 down into the chat if she's not lying. Put a 2 down if she's a liar. I'm gonna put. Hold on. Where's my chat? A dude making a schmeeve $22,000 per year is gonna cheat on you, mama. All right. At least shout out to Street TV $20 super chat. The white girl is on point. Her name is Pearl. Show her some respect. Well, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Yeah, the ones is flowing through. The twos is like 1% of the chat right now. You can take your two and shove it up your ass. They will. He's making a smooth $19,000 per year. He's working minimum wage. $36 hours a week. He don't give a shit. He will cheat on your ass. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, okay, they're predicting that.
I'm gonna drop a sign in the chat. How about sign? Put a one down into the chat. All right. Put a put a one down into the chat if you agree. Put a two if you don't agree with the young savage, the young masculine savage in the middle. You understand me? Yeah. A dude making a schmeeve $22,000 per year is gonna cheat on you, mama. All right? And Lee, shout out to Street TV, $20 super chat. The white girl is on point. Her name is Pearl. Show her some respect. But thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Yeah, the ones is flowing through. The twos is like 1% of the chat right now. You can take your two and shove it up your ass. They will. He's making a smooth $19,000 per year. He's working minimum wage, 36 hours a week. He don't give a shit. He will cheat on your ass. Let's go.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, like, okay, they're predicting that 45% of women will be single and childless. That's so much so that the big banks are predicting this. These women that are going to be single and childless and are on the path to that, it's not like they're not sexually active. They're probably sleeping with someone. There's not a plethora of virgins around that are women, but there is 1 in 3 men under 30 are virgins. So who's more promiscuous? If the women aren't virgins, the body counts are getting higher. And where on the other hand, men, it's a very small percentage that can actually get sex and father a bunch of kids. So that's why I say, like, I know Tate tries to, he's like, don't make it a he said, she said, but just by and large, it's more on the women because one, we're in control of sex. We pick who we sleep with, and we're more sexually active than them.
She's making
In
sense.
the sense, I agree because on average, yes, you're right. Women are having sex a lot more. However, when we're talking about promiscuity, men have 3 times more sexual partners than women. So men have, I think,
The men at the top, the men at the top 10% of men. I can understand that, but most men. So you're just gonna obfuscate her entire point for some bullshit. Shout out to Sarah Garvey for the 5. Was that a pound? For the 5-pound super chat. Appreciate the content, my bro. Please keep it up. Inspirational. Your name looks familiar from the last stream that I did right here, but I appreciate the $5 super chat, my brother. Let's keep it rocking.
I think it's like 24, and
Where
a
did
woman
you see
is like
that?
10.
The last I checked
Google it.
was
Google it right
like,
now.
yeah.
I made sure because I done my research before coming back. I was like, okay, I need to know.
So if
Brittany
that's
speak.
true, again, it goes back to the Pareto principle, right? So let's say the
Oh, man, I need to
average
stop
number is
screaming.
higher for men. Typically, it's because the top 5, 20%, we'll even
Yeah,
say
80% of the
30% of
women.
men. Let's
Yes.
give them 30. Like they sleep with 50, 60, 100, 150 girls. But
Correct.
1 out of 3 are virgins or haven't had sex in the past year. Historically,
Exactly.
but-
That's why I agree
But,
with
that,
what you're
but
saying.
that's why I'm saying, like, by and large, women are sleeping with a very small percentage of men.
Yes.
But those
Like, how
small
many-
percentage are ruining it for the other men.
but
So if
how-
they keep sleeping with so many women,
Okay.
they're ruining it for the ones that aren't getting
yeah,
laid.
okay,
So
okay.
actually, it's their fault.
You could argue that, but you could also say it's more on the women because we're in control of sex. Most men, like if you went to a biological level, their biology is to sleep with whoever they can, right? Like most men, if you get right, but for the men, right, where we have to be more selective and sacred with who we give it to, right? Like we value sex more like emotionally than men do. And like most men, you get butt naked in front of them. What they're not doing.
I cannot. But here's the thing: if I had an opportunity to talk to the young, delusional woman that's over here, I would ask her, "Do you really are you playing a game? Is this a character? Do you really not understand how you're just changing your points? You're just changing your position as the conversation goes on, guys. As I told you just before, that's recreational use. Right above me, that's recreational use. Please do not spend your time on young ladies like this. You will go goddamn insane. You will go goddamn insane because there's so much in their feelings. As soon as you say something, they feel themselves into the next topic, not ever giving credence or respect to the things that was said previously. But here's the thing. Women are masters of argument. That's where they dwell at. We're masters of war and manipulating our environment. Women are masters of verbal war. So you will never win. You will never win. It's exhausting to hear it at this level because it seems as though she really doesn't understand how delusional that she is. Shout out to Big Boss Real Talk, not the minimum wage cheater. Shout out to FTR for keeping it lit tonight. Shout out to the lively chat. Shout out to your moms, especially Gail at night. Pearly is on.